Serving up a warm dish of the Triad's culinary fare, here's your weekly helping of food, news, and views. This is the man who ate the town.
Hey, folks, and welcome to episode number 92 of the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. This is for the week of December 3rd through the 9th, 2018. My name is Tim Beeman.
And my name is Ray Morgan.
And we're opening the recipe box. We're recording this episode of the Man Who Ate the Town in the lab at Industry Hill. It is a repurposed building on North Chestnut Street in the old warehouse district of downtown Winston-Salem, what we now call Industry Hill. Lots of good restaurants and breweries and chocolatiers, and sound company is coming. Ember Audio is moving up there.
It's exciting.
Yeah. So it's a high-end audio, too. So a lot of good things in this area. So to find out more, just visit industryhill.com. Just to let you know, we have no internet in the building right now. So I'm going on just the script that I had and not anything that I can't look anything up on the fly. So we're just going to have to make some stuff up as we go.
We'll just have to survive. It's like not having oxygen.
I know.
How do we survive without our internet connection?
We will find a way.
That's what we do. We will carry on. Well,
Campus Gas has now officially opened, and why they didn't tell me, I'll never know. But
they should have called you first. You should have been there. Opening night.
But Campus Gas is located in the newly renovated Campus Gas and Service location at 1231 Polo Road. It was a Phillips 66 station in its heyday, and then it is on the National Register of Historic Places.
Really?
It was the service station of choice for Wake Forest students and surrounding neighborhoods.
Well, it's right at campus.
That's right. It also still features the iconic Phillips Harlequin canopy, which is bat-winged. The owners are Will Volker, John Clowney, and Ben Ingold, who are all Wake Forest graduates. They met each other while they were freshmen back in 2001.
They were only freshmen.
Yeah, they were babies. Clowney and Ingold are co-founders of the Bull City Cider Works, which has tasting rooms in Lexington and Durham, and they have been on the Less Desirables for that. It offers at Campus Gas, they offer beer, wine, hot dogs, sandwiches, and more. There is no fryer, so you can't have fries or anything like that, but you can get chips for $1.
Cool.
Campus Gas is open daily for lunch and dinner from 11:30 a.m. to 8 p.m., but that may change. There's also a bottle shop in there as well that has a great selection of North Carolina-based beer and wine, plus other craft wine and beer. There is seating for around 60 people, both inside and outside, so that's about 120-ish people that they can fit.
You did that
around
fast.
there. Yeah, I wrote it.
Oh, and here I was giving you credit for thinking.
Yeah, no, math and even though I'm a musician, I can't count past 4, obviously. So it's, every once in a while I have to do like 6 or 9 or 12 even.
Does it hurt?
Sometimes, yeah, it does. But, I'm hungry now, so I might go after we finish this to go have it.
I'd be up to join you for that.
Yeah, we might do that.
We only live about a mile from there. So we've been watching the renovation over the last few months. And I will say I really think they did a great job on the exterior, the way everything looks. It's very inviting. Lots of windows. You're going to have a lot of light in there. I really think when the weather warms up, that's going to be an ideal spot for a spontaneous party.
Oh, yeah.
And that close to campus, it's going to happen like 5 nights a week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They'll close the place down because I see what they do to Finnegan's Wake. So that's not the wake that they thought their parents were sending them to.
No. Maybe a better wake.
Yeah, maybe. Quanto Basta is opening a new location in Wilmington, but it's closing the one in Bermuda Run. Oh. Chef Tim is a friend of mine. I love what he does with Springhouse. I mean, I love it, but I've never really gotten the Quanto Basta thing.
I've not been there yet.
I've eaten at the one downtown 3 different times, not counting the friends and family event. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful place.
But what was your experience?
But all 3 times, it was a combination of subpar food and definitely subpar service. Mm. We have never in the 3 times going there gotten what we ordered, how we ordered it, or when we should have gotten it.
Oh, that's not good.
No. The time that really stands out in my mind was when Stephanie and I were dining there alone. We've been there with friends a couple times. We were seated at a small table, and I asked the server for a sauce that was thick, not watery. I like mine more creamier than opposed to the wine sauces. They had said that this one particular item, I don't even remember what it was the closest they came, they said, to a thick sauce. So I ordered it, and Stephanie ordered a pizza, and we got the charcuterie plate as an appetizer. It was this big slate of meat, cheese, and condiments like chutneys and mustards and things like that. That was good.
I was going to say, that sounds good.
Oh, it was. It took up most of the small 2-person table which we were sitting at. We weren't even halfway finished with that when they brought this huge bowl of my food and set it in front of me. I wasn't done with the charcuterie that cost a good bit of money.
Right.
I had to reach around it to even cut, because charcuterie is not just pull apart meat. You got to cut this stuff.
Yeah.
And putting it on, I don't know if it was a cracker or a pita or bread of some sort, whatever we were trying to put that on, but neither one of us. But they didn't bring Stephanie's pizza. They explained that they had dropped it, so they had to make her another one. So they left my food. They brought my food and put it on this table that was barely enough room to fit our drinks and this and the stuff. They had to have the obligatory shit on the table, that the salt and pepper shakers and the stands and all that other stuff,
sweeteners.
Yeah, I mean, it was just awkward. Plus, they didn't even, like I said, they didn't bring her pizza, and
they should watch for that. It's a timing issue.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Let you
first.
finish the appetizer before they shove the entree in front of you.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Why are they not paying attention to where we were in the appetizer phase?
Right.
I mean, shouldn't they wait until we're almost done to even have the kitchen start to stuff? I mean, I understand pushing people through. This is not like in Europe when you go to restaurants in Europe. They don't care if you stay the whole damn day. This over here in America, we have to shove people through like cattle.
Well, it's about turning tops.
Yeah, I get that. But does it have to be so fast that we can't even finish our appetizer before they're shoving our entrees in our face? And second, why can't they just keep mine under a heater?
Right.
Until hers is ready? We didn't even have to know that they had dropped that.
Right.
We were
They didn't
still,
have to
again,
admit
yes, it was taking a little bit of time for them to do all this, but we were enjoying the charcuterie plate. Or the slate. It was just going with it.
Yeah.
But third, I hate when I go to restaurants and they have a wide menu of stuff, especially in tapas type settings, which this wasn't, but it could be.
Mm-hmm.
And they put me and my big ass on one of those little bitty tables. We barely had room, like I said, for the appetizer. No room to comfortably put my bowl. The stuff on the table was there. Stephanie's pizza came. You know how big a pizza, even a personal pizza, is going to be 10 inches or more. And we had to move stuff around to even get that. Plus, I had a beer and she had wine. So, and then the water glasses as well, silverware.
Now that table's overcrowded.
This table was not meant for that. They also have this. They have one of the community tables where they'll put people that don't know each other next to it. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm probably one of the few people that's okay with that, because a lot of people complain because this town, they didn't want to sit with somebody they didn't know. Well, screw all of y'all. Is how you get to know people.
That's exactly right.
And so, and then the sauce wasn't as thick as I'd requested. It wasn't really even that flavorful, and we were in an awkward position all evening long. That was just the one time. Usually if something didn't come out as ordered, it was the wrong temperature. We order a beverage and it never shows up and they still charge us for it.
Oh no.
Yeah,
No.
I say, I want this beer, and they had a good selection of beer, the Samuel Smith stuff. I want this right here. Okay, sure. 20 minutes goes by. Here, if you need anything else, let me know.
Like that beer.
Yeah. Here's your check. Where's my damn beer? Oh no, I forgot about that.
Well, then take it off the tab.
Yeah.
Don't charge me.
I still want it. but I shouldn't have to pay for it. And by now, everything's done.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking for something free. I hate that too. But at the same time, just be more courteous about it up front.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's 3 times we did that, and 3 strikes and you're out. Again, I love Chef Timmy G, and I love Springhouse. It's always near the top of the list when people ask, where should I go for a romantic evening? I say, do you have a large budget or a more meager budget? Because that will determine that. Springhouse is one of those special once a year type things when you're celebrating something.
Unless you've got big budget.
Yeah, but most people who ask me that don't. But there is just the Quanto Basta thing. There's better Italian in town. I don't endorse Delicios just because they're my sponsor.
It's because they're good.
I've been going there before they were my sponsors, and it is truly my favorite Italian space. It is that damn good. If you're a fan of Quanto Basta, I am not putting it down. I just don't get it. I am not one to trample on businesses either. I am not doing anything other than offering my experience with the restaurant. I hate that I have to mention that, but inevitably someone thinks I'm trying to hurt a business, and it's quite the opposite. I want them to thrive. Every single restaurant, I want them to stay alive and stay going. But it is my job also to offer my opinion on it. And I'm saying it out loud. I'm not putting on Yelp where people will never have to be heard from again. This is said here where you can email me and tell me when you think things are wrong. But know that I am not trying to cut Tim down in any of the stuff he's doing.
It's more of a constructive criticism.
It was, absolutely. I'm just saying, and again, there's a reason why I don't go out and tell them at the restaurant when something's wrong. Because they're going to want to turn around and give me something for free, and that's not going to fix any problems.
That's not the point.
That's not the point. I don't want to not pay for it. I want to pay for it. That's how businesses stay in business.
Exactly.
But also, I want it to be known, and if I'm there, I have to give an account of who it was that was doing me wrong, and I don't want to call anybody out for that. I can just say the restaurant. I don't have to say that server right there who's busy.
It was Bob. It was Bob. He did it.
Yeah, of course it was Bob. If it ever gets done, he did it. But
and Jane helped him.
It's true.
It was her fault too.
But they were too busy talking to each other at the end of the bar than they were getting the drink that I was ordering. But, there's a whole bunch of reasons why I personally don't go to the management when I'm there, and that's because I'm not looking for handouts. I'm looking for action. If I say it here, that gives a little more accountability on a broader spectrum than it does just me being a bitching customer who they appease, and then once I'm out the door, nothing changes.
Right.
And I just, that was, again, the very first episode of this podcast I did was in response to someone responding to my review of my experience at Midtown Cafe.
I remember you telling me about that. I read that. And
they thought that I was just being so totally unfair. This is what I do.
You're supposed to be a critic.
Yeah, well, I'm not a critic. I critique. I offer my opinion as someone who does food, who knows a lot of people in food. And that, not necessarily picking on Midtown, because I'm not, but in any situation like that, whenever I give a less than stellar response to a restaurant or whatever, it's because I love the place or I love the people involved. I just want them to do better. And putting it on Yelp gets nothing but people who are sitting behind a keyboard and just bitching and moaning. I'm not bitching and moaning. I always try to give good things. Like I said, I mean, this is petty, but Quanto Basta is a beautiful place.
Beautiful.
And I love Tim.
Now, is Tim in Quanto Basta? He's across the street.
He's at Springhouse most of the time, but they have plenty of ample chefs that Christopher used to be with Christopher's was in there. I don't know if he's still even there, but the thing is when you're not the owner, no matter how good you are,
It's not yours.
It's not yours, and you're not going to treat it like it's yours. The exception of that rule is Chef Travis Myers at Willow's.
Mm.
And I know I always give a big ringing endorsement there, but he really cares about the restaurant and treats it like it's his, even when his hands are tied. And that's not any negative reflection on Will and Nora, but it's just saying they can't always do everything there either.
Right.
So,
right.
but Travis tries his best. He'll work 80 hours just so he can let some of the other payroll people, off the hook there or whatever. But that's rare.
Yeah. But now that's truly a professional.
It is.
You see that attitude, you recognize it.
Yeah. Well, I hope whenever because people when they mentioned that they were going to Wilmington, people were excited here for people they knew in Wilmington. Again, if you're a fan of Quanto Basta, I'm not trying to talk you into not being. I want you to continue to go. I want you to eat the hell out of the food. I want you to drink the hell out of the wine. They have a great beer list. The menu is wonderful. It's just not always the greatest execution when I'm there. Everyone else may have great experiences there.
But that's also 3 separate occasions.
Right. Yeah. And I wasn't alone on the other 2.
Right.
I mean, I wasn't alone that one. Stephanie was with me, but we met up with friends 2 other times. And
so you're talking 4 people, which is ideal for the restaurant. 2 couples coming in, you're gonna take a little more time, you'll have drinks, you're likely to get appetizers and maybe even a dessert. That's ideal.
Yeah.
You would think that they would recognize that situation and say, what do we need to do to give them an exceptional experience so that 1, they will tip us well this evening, and 2, they will come back.
And we are good tippers. We even tipped well when we didn't get what we wanted those other times. And it's not a bragging thing. It's just we agree that, they're working for their money and this is how they make it.
Yeah.
I don't want to complain when I'm in the restaurant. I don't want to be perceived, even sitting here on this podcast behind this microphone, as just someone who wants to bitch about stuff. And I'm not throwing my weight around, I'm not slinging my dick around about, don't you know who I think I am? I'm Tim Beeman, the man who went to town. That's
not.
That's right. I guess you know your name, but that's not what this is about. I don't want that kind of publicity. I don't want that kind of notoriety. I don't want, here comes Beeman, he's just going to come bitch and complain about everything. No, I want the restaurants to like me being there.
Well, and I have listened and participated in copious amounts of praise for restaurants that are doing it right.
Yeah.
They just need to step up in a few areas.
Yeah. And this is not saying, again, that Quanto Basta is not doing things right. It just didn't happen when I was there.
And that's all you can
And that's
judge.
all I can judge. I can't judge what happened when Ted and Sally, Bill and Alice might be there. It's it's just whoever.
They had a most excellent meal.
Yeah, I can only do whatever I do. So, all right. Well, good luck again to Quanto Basta, and congratulations to people in Wilmington of getting a high caliber kind of restaurant.
Well, and I do wish them the best of luck. That's a very competitive market for restaurants.
It is. It's a very small town that has a lot to fit in that.
Yeah.
So
and oh my gosh, there's some great places in Wilmington.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, food holidays for this week. The 3rd, that's today, is a day without a National Food Day.
What?
Yeah.
There's no national food for today?
No.
We need to start lobbying.
I know. What can we come up with?
What should it be? What food does not have a holiday?
None.
I mean, for crying out loud, the mason jars got their own day.
Hell yeah. There's no food, that doesn't have a holiday somewhere. I don't know. It is a day without National Food Day.
Maybe it could just be it's your favorite food day.
But that could be every day.
It could be.
Yeah. So
But
celebrate
it's officially the day that you celebrate your favorite food, regardless of what it happens to be.
that. Well, also on the 3rd in 1842, Charles Pillsbury, flour magnate, was born in New Hampshire. So he brought us the nothing is laughing like my poppin' fresh dough. And
And that was not a video clip.
Yeah.
That was Tim.
yeah, and the little Pillsbury Doughboy's real name is Poppin' Fresh.
Really?
It is.
I didn't know that was his name.
In 1981, on the 3rd, Walter Knott died, and he was the co-founder, along with his wife Cordelia, of Knott's Berry Farm in California. In 1984, this is not food related, but it is a thing. That's a big to-do. In 1984, the world's worst industrial disaster occurred. Do you know what that was? Do you remember? I was only 14, but I remember.
84 was the year I graduated high school, and I'm trying to remember what in the world what would that have been?
It occurred in Bhopal, India. Over 40 tons of poisonous gas leaked from a Union Carbide pesticide factory. About 3,800 people were killed, and over 300,000 people suffered acute respiratory problems, burning eyes, and vomiting. Thousands more died over the next few weeks. We actually still own a truck that used to be a Union Carbide truck. We bought it in West Virginia because their headquarters used to be in what's called, starts with an I, but some town outside of Charleston, like Industry, West Virginia. And we would drive by that, and I would be like, oh, God, we're going to die because we're Union Carbide. But, yeah, that was a big deal, and it's been sold a couple times, and the CEO of the company died just a couple of years ago, but people wanted his head over there. They said, you want Osama, we want Anderson. His name was Anderson.
I can imagine so, yeah.
Yeah. It was a bad day. On the 4th of December, National Cookie Day. Yeah. And in 1860, George A. Hormel was born. He was the founder of a meat packing company known as Hormel. In Austin,
I was going to say, I recognize the name.
In Austin, Minnesota, in 1891, he developed the first canned ham in 1926, and in 1937, he introduced Spam. Spam.
Where would the world be without Spam?
So the 5th of December is National Sachertorte Day, and that is the national dessert of Austria. It was made in the Sacher, Sacher hotel in Austria. Cool. It's a lot of chocolate meringue in the middle of 2 pieces of something and honey, and it looked really good, and then covered with chocolate.
Okay, so I'm good for that. Let's do that.
Yeah, me too.
Austria?
Yeah, let's go.
Uber.
See you next week.
Come on.
In 2006, New York City became the first city to ban artificial trans fats in restaurant food when the Board of Health voted to ban them on that day. New York City residents had until July 1st to stop frying, 2007, to stop frying oils with artery-clogging trans fat, and had to eliminate them altogether by July the 1st, 2008. I guess they did that. I'm not sure.
One would hope.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're 10 years past due.
Yeah.
There's a fine for that.
Yeah, there is. I'm sure there was a hefty one, too. On the 6th, it's National Gazpacho Day, and it's also Microwave Oven Day.
Wow.
Yeah. And on that date in 1917, Irv Robbins was born. He was a co-founder, along with Burt Baskin, of the Baskin-Robbins ice cream parlor chain in 1946 in Glendale, California.
I used to love, as a kid, the German chocolate cake ice cream from Baskin-Robbins. That was my favorite.
Oddly enough, my favorite thing at Baskin-Robbins was, the rainbow sherbet.
Really?
Yeah.
You went sherbet?
I still love it.
Yeah, I'm a chocolate freak, so I went straight for that chocolate.
Yeah, nice. On the 6th in 1964, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer first appeared on NBC.
Oh, man.
And you can see it now, even. I think they played it last week. So on the 7th, there is no listed food holiday. So
Ooh,
yeah, there
this
was
is
something
like a food
that
oasis
said
for the desert.
this, whatever it was, I didn't even write it down, had moved to a different date.
So this week is kind of a food desert for holidays.
Yeah, it must be.
We got a campaign to get some
Well,
food in here.
there was something that was going on that was like a week, like cookie cutter week or something. I don't know what it was, but I don't usually do the weeks because it's not always the same dates that I go by. So, let's see. Where am I? Oh, the 7th, yeah.
Where did we go?
In 1863, Richard Warren Sears was born. He developed his small mail-order jewelry business in 1886, and he turned it into Sears Roebuck and Company. By 1894, the Sears catalog was 507 pages. Now the company is on the verge of extinction.
Yeah. And I understand they're closing the one at Haynes Mall.
Are they? It's one of the ones that didn't make it, I guess.
And I understood Novant was going to be buying that out. Be interesting to have hospital as part of the anchor for the mall. But anyway, I remember as a kid
owns every damn
going through the Sears catalog, especially the toy section.
Oh yeah, the Wish book.
Oh yeah.
I didn't care about the catalog. I mean, I did look through the bras and panties section, but
yeah.
but when the Wish book come out, you know, that's what. Here, I want this, I want that, I want this. And
I'm
this.
wishing and I'm wishing and I'm wishing. My
Well,
parents told me I could keep wishing.
Oddly, on the same, not on the exact same day, but on the same day, 50 years later, Aaron Montgomery Ward died. He was the founder of Montgomery Ward and Company to sell general merchandise by mail order. And we shopped at a Montgomery Ward a good bit in West Virginia. I don't know that they ever had one. Yeah, they're all gone. They sold off and then that was dissolved or whatever. In 2006, the Hard Rock cafes and casinos were all purchased by the Florida's Seminole American Indian tribe. So all Hard Rock cafes around the world are owned by the Seminoles.
By the tribe. Good.
Yeah.
Now I feel even better to go to the Hard Rock.
There you go. And on the 8th of December is National Brownie Day, which I'm more of a sandy kind of guy, or a blondie.
I'm good with that too, as long as it's got ice cream on it.
Okay. In 1841, on that day, James Harvey Logan was born. He was a horticulturist and lawyer. He developed the Loganberry, which is a cross between a red raspberry and a wild blackberry.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
There seems like next week we'll find out something about another berry that was kind of a cross between those, and it wasn't the Loganberry. I don't know. Maybe the boysenberry.
Okay.
We'll find out next week, I think, or next couple, because I remember last year talking about this, and then all of a sudden we were back talking about this. So on the 9th, it's National Pastry Day, and on the day in 1814, Joseph Brahma died. An English engineer, along with his many inventions, was a beer engine used to deliver beer from the keg to the glass without artificial carbonation being added.
Nice. Now, the 9th?
The 9th.
Is Pastry Day.
Yes.
Darn. Because the 9th is Sunday. We can't go to the Humblebee for Pastry Day, so we have to make sure that we go the day before.
Yeah, Saturday.
So we have plenty, like copious amounts of pastries for Sunday.
That's true.
Because we must celebrate Pastry Day in style and with some of the best pastries you can find.
That's true.
We love you, Brittany.
In 1886, Clarence Birdseye was born in Brooklyn. In 1924, he, with his friends Wetmore Hodges, William Gamage, Bassett Jones, I.L. Rice, and J.J. Berry, organized the General Seafood Company. It was the birth of the frozen food industry, and it went on to become Birdseye.
Oh, okay. I wondered where that was going.
Yeah. In 1965, on the 9th, what year was the other one? Hold on. Okay, one year after the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was premiered, on the 9th, Charlie Brown Christmas premiered on CBS.
That's Christmas. Once you've had Charlie Brown Christmas, then you've truly begun the Christmas season. Yeah, that's my humble opinion.
And if it's your wife, is this then White Christmas?
It's White Christmas, yeah, which I've now watched twice.
Something that we are part of conquering on this show and in this town, because we have one of the worst, not one of the worst cases, but we are one of the worst populations with this. In 1983, on the 9th, White House counselor, later Attorney General Edwin Meese says, "I don't know of any authoritative figures that there are hungry children. We've had considerable evidence that people go to soup kitchens because the food is free and it's easier than paying for it."
You just want to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
I volunteer with the Shalom Project, and I can tell you there are people who come every week that their kids are hungry.
Yeah. When I read that, I was almost not going to include it, but because of my wife used to work for the food bank.
Yep.
And Shalom Project, what she does now has to do with food bank-ish. 1 in 4 children are food insecure in this town alone, this county, and 1 in 7 adults are.
And you think about that. That's a staggering number.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people here. And Forsyth County is the 3rd worst county in the entire country for actually moving out of poverty.
Yeah.
And the other 2 that are below us are Indian reservations.
Yeah.
So to think, if you're poor here, that's where you're going to stay. Yeah, that's kind of the message that's been delivered over the years. And so there are groups like the Shalom Project that are working to change that. But yeah, it starts with having basic need of food. It's not asking too much.
Yeah, you're right. It's not
a privilege. It is a basic need.
Yeah, absolutely. They say you need food, water, and shelter.
I would argue that there's a 4th that we need to survive: food, clothing, shelter, and love.
Okay.
Because people are built for companionship. We're built to be together. I mean, granted, there are those of us who enjoy some downtime by ourselves, but
that's not. Being alone and being by yourself are 2 different things.
Right.
We all need some downtime by ourselves, but we don't need to be alone.
Yes, we need people in our lives.
Well, that's all the food, holidays, and history for this week. Special thanks to James Ehler at foodreference.com for his compiling of the holidays and history. The Man Who Ate the Town podcast is part of the Less Desirables Podcast Network. Along with this podcast, you can listen to the man. This is the Man Who Ate the Town. The Less Desirables, the Beard Has, Fan Interference, and Apartment 5B. You can find all those podcasts and their latest episodes on the network directory, tldpodnetwork.com. And if you have Amazon Echo or Echo Dot, enable the Innopod skill and have Alexis play the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. Delicios is located at 301 Brookstown Avenue. Delicios is the go-to restaurant for Italian in this town, I believe. Tony carefully prepares dishes from his native Napoli. Hearty and delicious dishes that whisk you away to the eateries of southern Italy. They have a great beer and wine list as well. You're not going to leave hungry or sorry. They're open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. Check them out on Instagram and on Facebook. Washington Park and Provision Company is located at 301 West 4th Street. Have you purchased your Homeland Creamery's eggnog yet, Ray?
It's sad to say I have not gone by and got my eggnog yet.
Well, while you're in there getting your Wolfie's custard or your eggs, milk, and cheese from Homeland Creamery, grab the eggnog too.
I'm going to have to get the eggnog.
And, Perk has Larry's Beans Coffee. They have condiments, bread, a beer and wine wall, and a deli that makes tasty, affordable goodies every day. The Perk has everything that you would need pretty much. It's better than a convenience store, but not quite a grocery store. Again, it's located 301 West 4th Street. You can find them on Facebook, Washington Perk, and on Instagram, it's WashingtonPerk_DTWS. The Humblebee Shop is located at 1003 Brookstown Avenue in the west end of downtown. Visit for cakes, cookies, pies, and other dessert goodies made just for you. If you need vegan or gluten-free, she does that as well.
Yes, she does.
Everything is carefully crafted and made 100% from scratch. The Humblebee Shop wants to challenge your perception of scratch made and leave you with an experience you couldn't possibly forget.
Don't forget Pastry Day.
Pastry Day is on Sunday, but you need to go on Saturday.
And you probably want to stop in Friday and treat everybody where you work.
It's true.
That'd be a good thing to do on Friday.
And if you work on Saturday, then just do that too.
And you could do it on Thursday, like just go in there and get you something to have for breakfast and then have some treats laying around the house.
And on Wednesday, you could just bring something by here.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
My address is...
For more information, follow Brittany and all her deliciousness on Instagram or Facebook, or visit thehumblebeeshop.co. That's SHOPPE.co.
.com. C-O.
Just co.
It's co.
It's co. It's co.
It's real co.
All right, keep an eye on the blog and this podcast to find out more about the food news and happenings around town. If you have any food news, send us an email at tim@themanwhoatethetown.com.
Please.
Like us on Facebook, yes, please. On Twitter, we are Man Who Ate the Town. On Instagram, we are Man Who Ate the Town. We did have a couple of responses from the poll last week, but because I don't have internet, I can't get to the results.
You didn't write them all down ahead of time.
No, I didn't, because I didn't know I was going to be without the internet when I got here. I figured I'll just look it up when I get there.
So we'll have to talk about that next week.
Next week. And also, I'm going to Asheville this week, and we're going to eat at Kurate again. So we will have stuff to talk about then, too.
Nice.
Well, anyway, my name's Tim.
My name's Ray.
And we're closing the recipe box. Until next time, thank you for reading. Thank you for listening. Bon appetit. The views and opinions stated by me or any of my guests are solely those of ours and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosting companies, distributors, enemies, friends, or relatives. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced or distributed without express written consent of the man who ate the town, that's me, and Such Limited Inc. However, if you ask nicely, we'll probably let you.